Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see the program of adding two matrices. Matrix is a two-dimensional array. Array is a set of elements, same type of elements under a single name. That is the definition of an array. So now when we say the two-dimensional array means the arrays have row and columns. Okay, so we know what is a matrix. A matrix is a collection of rows and columns. Mathematically, when you define a matrix, we have the number of rows and the number of columns to define a matrix. Now let us start how to program this matrix addition. As usual, program starts with include stdio.h, that is for the input output statement, and then int main open brace, int m comma n c comma d first second sum. M, n, c, d are the simple variables which helps to get the number of rows, number of columns, and the c and d helps to loop through the variables m and n for the for loops. And then first and the second are the two matrices which is having the first and the second matrix elements. The maximum size given here in this program is 10, 10. That means there can be 10, maximum 10 rows and 10 columns in this matrix. And then sum is the addition matrix after you get the addition of the two matrices, given two matrices. Now, okay, next statement, printf the number of rows and the columns. The number of rows and the columns will get the size of the matrix, and then scan of %d ampersand m comma n. This statement will get the size of the rows and the columns, and then enter the elements of the matrix, this first matrix. Okay, so once the size of the matrix is got, the elements has to be read out. That is done by this for loop. For c is equal to 0, c less than m, and then c plus plus, then for d is equal to 0, d less than n, d plus plus, scan of %d ampersand first c d. That means this for loop will get the first matrix. Okay, this for loop will get the first matrix, and we are using the nested for loop here. Okay, one for loop within the next, that is called as a nested for loop, because first for loop will do for the row and the second for loop will do for the column. Okay, so now print of the enter the elements of the second matrix. Likewise, same loop here, only the difference is scan of %d ampersand second c comma d. So this for loop will get the second matrix. Okay, and then we have to add the matrix. So how to add the matrix? Just you have to add the elements one by one. First element of this first matrix and the first element of the second matrix. Likewise 1 comma 1. So how you define the position of the matrix? A of 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, that is the first row. Then A of 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, second row, and so on. Likewise here we have to add the elements. So print sum of the entered matrices. So the loop starts again here. For c is equal to 0, c less than m, c plus plus, open brace. For d is equal to 0, d less than n, d plus plus is open brace. Now we have to add the two matrices. Sum c d is equal to first cd plus second cd. That means the first and the second matrix are added element by element, and it is printed as the sum matrix. And this closes the inner for loop, and then we have a printf /n statement. This statement will help you to go to the next line. This is mainly used for the printing format. So we have to add the first row of the first matrix and the first row of the second matrix, and that should be given as the first row of the third matrix. For that, after that, printing the first row of the matrix, it should come to the second row. For that only this print /n is used. Okay, and then return 0. Return 0 is the return program which will return the answer to the main program as usual. Okay, now let us see how the output looks like. Here enter the number of rows and columns as I given as 2, that means 2 rows and 2 columns, and the elements I have given as 1, 2, 3, 4. You can give any elements, and then enter the matrix elements of the second matrix. Again I just given 1, 2, 3, 4 for example, and now it is added. First 1 and 1 added to get to 2, and then second 2 and 2 to get the added 2, and then next 3 and 3 to get 6, and 4 and 4 to get 8. So this is how the elements are added, and the matrix is printed as sum of entered matrices 2, 4, 6, 8. This, in order to get this format only, that for loop of the printing matrix is given that way. Okay, so that's all the addition of the matrices. Hope you understood the logic of how to add the two matrices, and thanks for watching.